right, everybody, let's pull a little bit and tighten up. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Melody Moore, and I am here on behalf of my group of 10, as well as the hundreds of others that applied for dispensary licenses as true social equity applicants. And I have some questions for our governor. Governor Pritzker, you are one of the wealthiest people on the planet. Your family has been on Forbes' wealthiest families list since its inception in the 1980s. So my first question to you is, do you not understand the import and the impact of generational wealth on families and communities? And I would argue that you do understand, because there's no better way to understand something than to experience it yourself. And you have experienced being wealthy your entire life. So my next question is, do you believe that wealth is only reserved for people that look like you and your friends? That must be what you believe. Because how is it that you have allowed this pernicious process to continue when it is rife with fraud and corruption? How can you simultaneously claim to want to fix this when you are allowing it to go on, knowing that it is rife with corruption and fraud? It is my belief that you are lying to us, playing us as if we are oaks, not intelligent enough to understand wrong when we see it. You are continuing a process, a systemically racist process that started off in the 60s and the 70s with locking us up. And now what you're doing is locking us out. You're preventing us access and privilege to wealth so that we alone can fix our communities. So that we're not begging you for grants. We're not asking you to donate book bags to our children or turkeys to our families. That's not what we want. We want the same opportunity that you have enjoyed. So why is it, Governor Pritzker, that many of these perfect applicants are directly tied to current and former employees of the IDFPR? Why are numerous applicants tied to current and former politicians, mostly Democrat with a few Republicans? Why is it that almost all of these applicants are white and wealthy with friends in high places that have power and can make the decisions to make sure that they have gotten through? Do you think that black people are unintelligent? That we're not capable of writing an application, even without all of the resources that these perfect 21 have? You're not dealing with fools here, Governor Pritzker. We want this fixed, and we want it fixed now. We don't want later. Because when you wanted our vote, you had us right by your side, paraded around how you were going to make sure that people that look like us, black and brown people, that suffered our communities being decimated by taking the resources, taking our black men so that they can no longer provide for their families, locking them up as if they were animals. And now that the tables have turned, where this is a wealth-building enterprise, black men, along with their black women and children, are locked out of the process. That is why we call things systemically racist. Because it's from the local, the state, and the federal level. And you are all in cahoots together, Democrat, Republican. And lastly, I would like to ask, where are our elected officials? Why isn't the mayor outraged on this? Why aren't our aldermen outraged on this? Why isn't the Black Caucus outraged on this? We want it fixed. We want it fixed now. We're not stupid, Governor Pritzker. We want the same opportunity and privilege that has been afforded to your family, your children, your grandchildren, and your great-grandchildren that you won't even see. Thank
you. Well said by our acting chair of our Social Equity Applicants Coalition, Sister Moore. We're going to move the program forward. We have Another powerful black woman representing groups that applied and were rejected. People need to know that there was never a perfect score ever before in American history for cannabis applicants. Nowhere in the country, only in Illinois. And if that don't stink to hell, nothing ever will. Never been a perfect score, but now you get these perfect 21 and use them to block out 1,000 other applicants. I would like to bring up NATASCHA NEPTUN from the Social Equity Empowerment Network, the trade organization SIN, representing numerous applicants.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. My name is NATASCHA NEPTUN, president of the Social Equity Empowerment Network, better known as SIN. As the premier trade association for social equity applicants, it is imperative that we stand in solidarity with all constituents, applicants, and activists robbed by this state of affairs. It is no secret that our communities have been disproportionately impacted by the war on drugs. We have had over 80 years of cannabis prohibition enforcement launched with the supposed intent to help. However, the evidence shows that it has done more harm than good.
Right.
Leaving black communities dilapidated and defeated. Both our state and country have acknowledged this by passing laws to legalize and decriminalize. So, what we saw earlier this month, the U.S. House of Representatives passed 2 bills aimed at reforming marijuana laws. The Marijuana Opportunity Reinvestment and Expungement Act, better known as the MORE Act, and the Medical Marijuana Research Act. Both these bills will be moving on to the Senate. Now, these bills are supposed to decriminalize and reschedule cannabis and allow it to provide for reinvestment in communities adversely impacted by the war on drugs and provide expungement of certain cannabis offenses. However, last-minute provisions in the bill will prevent anyone with even a pending felony charge from getting a license in the cannabis industry. Now, that portion of the bill contradicts the very nature of why in this moment there was a need to decriminalize cannabis and address the injustices in our community with lack of economic opportunity by creating this concept called social equity. This misdirection sounds all too familiar. In fact, it's happening right here in the state, which we brandish as the best social equity program in existence. Yet a year after recreational was passed and 7 years of cannabis sales in this state, we are still asking, where's the equity? Maybe it's COVID, and of course this veto session that never happened, or in the trailer bill that organizations like ours have zealously advocated and participated in having input for. The governor, our elected officials, the IDFPR, and Department of Ag must continue to harbor the effects of these empty promises and this breach of trust. While we are pleased with the members of the General Assembly that have taken the time to speak with our organization and community leaders, we must show appreciation to the leaders that have been on the front line, as there are far and few between. The scene is much different from when they were garnering our support and acclimating our dollars behind a movement that has had no motion. SIN was founded by us for us. I mean, we have a network of nearly 400 people, and we stand as a resource, not just for our communities in this state, but as a resource for our brothers and sisters in other communities across this country in preparation for what is to come with the legalization of cannabis, and now which sales are projected to reach $23 billion by 2022. We must have a seat at this table now. We need that equity, and we need it now. And we have yet to arrive at that. When we have no bid contracts, questionable practices, last-minute rule changes, political power plays, and the perfect score finale. Not to mention the contemptible delay in the next phase of licensing the craft grow, transportation, and infusion. This crafty game must end, y'all. Make it right by ending it right now. So make no mistake, everyone's watching Illinois. They are watching what we do and how we respond to this current licensing situation and this trailer bill. So how will the state of Illinois demonstrate its stance of social equity in this space? So we call on Governor J.B. Pritzker, our Illinois legislators, aldermen, mayors, and members of our communities that this is a great responsibility. And with great responsibility comes the opportunity to transform words into action. We have suffered for far too long, and now it's time for substitute. Thank you.
Thank you. Tasha's made it clear that cannabis is now going to be legal all across America. So we're not just fighting here in Illinois and in Chicago. We're fighting for our people and Latinos all across America to get our fair share. Right now, the cannabis industry is owned 100% by white men. They are greedy, they are arrogant, they are paupers, they are crooked and corrupt, and Governor J.B. Pritzker has an opportunity to get it right. Don't lie to us, J.B. Don't let these people destroy the Pritzker family name. Don't let them destroy your administration's legacy, because that's what's about to happen. The trailer bill, we had an agreement, we stopped protesting. And now we find out that they're reneging on the deal. And they are not allowing brothers and sisters in the business. That is why brothers like Tyrone Muhammad and his group, ECCSC, Ex-Cons for Community and Social Change, have been shutting down dispensaries. And they are uniting us now with the black church and the black and Latinos who trying to just have a fair share of the American dream. And we are going to join them in protesting and shutting down these damn I promise I won't go there. Shutting down these dispensaries, Brother Tyrone Muhammad. Tell us why y'all shut down the dispensaries.
My name is Tyrone Muhammad. I'm the Executive Director of Ex-Cons for Community and Social Change. I represent the formerly incarcerated who have been victimized by this cannabis, the war on drugs, from 96 to 85 rating. So what I want to say today is we have over 1,000 years of prison time standing behind us. 1,000 years just now, and we're going to have more. With all the, first of all, the cannabis industry in its current formulation is inhumane and unethical. We stand before you today and saying this is a bill, this cannabis industry, Rickey, is going to be the thing that unify the streets, unify the church, the pulpit, and unify our elected officials around this issue. So it may not be all the bad things. You lock us up, you lock us out. You lock us up, you lock us out. You lock us out, you lock us out. You lock us up, you lock us out. You lock us out, you lock us out. We have declared that in our understanding, that this state, this city, and this country has declared a war on black men and boys. How is it possible that you lock black men and boys up to build and fill the state of Illinois prison, and we not the first ones on the list for equity and inclusion in the cannabis industry? You taught us how to sell drugs. Who sells drugs better than us? We don't grow drugs in Inglewood. We don't make Smith & Wessons in Inglewood in extended clips, and drums and bullets. Yet we're victimized by the very poison that you put in our community, and then you lock us out of an industry that profits off of prisons. You lock us out of prison industry, you make money off our bodies, and now you lock us out of the marijuana industry, and you still make money off of us. We said, we declare today that just as this country, this state, this city is at war with us, we are at war with you. This is a war. Make no mistake about it, black people. We at war against the city, the government, the legislation. Lori Lightfoot don't care. We declare that Lori Lightfoot don't care about the communities. We declare that Governor Pritzker don't care about our communities. So it's going to take us to save us. It's going to take us to save us. It's going to take us to save us. Stop waiting on your elected officials to save you. They the ones got you in this position. And if you sitting at the table and we not eating, you're a part of the menu, fool.
Now, we're going to announce the next dispensary shutdown or protest. Do we want to wait on that?
We'll be going to Cresco. Our next one, we'll be going to Cresco, and the little homies in the hood gonna be selling drugs, weed outside of these industries. And I dare you to lock them up.
All right. We will announce the next demonstration and shutdown. We know where it's gonna be, Cresco. They got all the money. They got all the money. And all we want is the governor to keep his word. The governor's word to us was that the trailer bill was going to fix everything. And if they follow our lead, then it will fix everything. But as Tyrone has said, they have united the streets, they have united us activists, they have united some of the elected officials, and those who don't want to unite with us, they got to come up for re-election. And we're going to get rid of they stacking. I didn't say it.
Hey, stacking
my son Rickey standing over there looking at me like, Daddy, don't cuss. Now I want to bring up a great pastor, one of our great men of God, because pastors know we in this together, y'all. If you look around the black community, west side, south side, we are dying on the vine. The black church is also suffering because we suffer together. Pastor Ira ACREE.
Amen.
We're glad to have the clergy joining us.
God bless you. Reverend Ira ACREE of the Greater St. John Bible Church. I thought it was important to be here today as a pastor, as a faith leader, to stand with my dear brother Rickey Hendon and these organizers who have spoken so eloquently. I commend you guys for being willing to speak truth to power. But I want to stand here from the platform as a moral leader to just say to the governor and the Democratic leadership of this state that what is taking place to our community right now is not only exposing hypocrisy, but this is diabolical, this is evil, and it's downright wrong. It is so unfortunate that you disrespect and take for granted this most important demographic. When you look at the African American community, black people in the state of Illinois have been the most loyal, faithful, and dedicated group to this Democratic Party. Why is it we have been locked out after being locked up? Why is it that we stand here today pretty much demanding from the governor, who could not have gotten elected without us, to give us our rightful share? Now, it's unfortunate. Now, I'm not here saying that as a pastor I'm encouraging everybody to go get cannabis. But the truth of the matter is, just as there was a prohibition on alcohol, there was once a prohibition on cannabis. Now it's legal. It's wrong to lock up our young men, destroy our families for decades, and make billionaires out of white men on the backs of our sons.
Amen.
Now that you legalize it, you pick out another group of all white men to make them billionaires also. This is not right. This is not right. And I speak to the governor today. You came to our organization. You went to Operation Push. You came to the Leaders Network. We want you to come back and give us the good news that you're going to make this happen. Call it whatever you want to call it. Call it affirmative action, but there ought to be a certain amount of dispensaries for African Americans. Because you said that we matter. Now, what it seems like is being conveyed, Rickey, that our vote matters, but our life don't matter. So we urge you to do the right thing, Mr. Governor. It doesn't make any sense. The Republicans are not doing this to us.
That's right.
There's a Democratic governor, Democratic Speaker of the House, an all Democratic President of the Senate. It's an all Democratic state. This is not right. God bless you.
Thank you, Pastor. I want to just say that we're calling on all the black civil rights organizations that have been on the forefront for years. We don't know where you at. We need you right now. We need Operation Push. We need the NAACP. We need the Urban League to stand up because black lives should really matter, especially when it comes to economics. Because if we can't eat, we starve to death. And I'm going to tell you, we're not going to die by ourselves. Y'all need to be real clear on that.
If we don't eat,
Nobody.
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 Now, we're going to wrap it up by saying a couple of things we've asked of the governor, and we gave him a letter, and he accepted it, and he said to me, because with me, it's Rickey and JB. So I'm going to say Rickey and JB. JB, you promised us that you would fix this. You promised us that you would limit those big companies with 78, 48, and 58 chances in the lottery, that they would be limited to just 10 chances. They could only have 10 licenses. Why should they have 78 chances? It's a rigged lottery. You had KPMG in there with their crooked self. Crooked self.
Crooked self.
They sent their applications down to Florida and had some college kids grade our applications. While the perfect 21 was graded here in Illinois. The reason y'all fight discovery in court right now is because you don't want the truth to come out. So we offered you a compromise. Leave your friends in. Leave them crooks in. Just give them 10 chances. Let the black and brown people whose husband is last in that first lottery. You said it was going to happen. We also said get rid of the slave master clause, which is the promise to hire 10 black folks. Why? Because we found out that these white companies had the same 10 Negroes' name on every application. And we asked the question, the brother gonna run from job to job to job to job to job to job to job every goddamn day? 10 names on all their paperwork. The state of Illinois is totally incompetent if you can see these same 10 names come across your damn doggone desk every day. It's a fixed fight.
Big fight.
So that's why we want to get rid of the slave master clause. Yeah, we'll take some jobs, but this is about ownership. You drew a map, JB. Within that map, we're supposed to be the owners. But yet, on your 21, in this ground that's supposed to be the model, we do share property. All right. This 21, we found out they don't even live in the map area. They live down the street from JB. They live next door to Dan Hines. They live next door to Commissioner Bridget Degnan. These people should not be in at all. But we said a compromise, let them in. Just limit them to 10. Last thing, the governor agreed to another set of licenses, of 75 licenses, that would clearly go to the minority community. Now we hear that the governor said, not only can the big companies keep their 50 and 60 chances, but now he's going to let them have 2 chances in the 75 that's what we set aside for minorities. Shame, JB. Shame. This your friend Rickey let you know it's a thin line between love and hate, bro. It's a thin line. Don't make me cross that line. We'll open up for questions if there are any. There are no questions. Let's strike up the band. Yes.
What do you want to see done and what do you want to see doing?
Well, Representatives LaShawn Ford and Kathleen Willis in the House, and we're hearing that President of the Senate, Don Harmon, and some others are fighting for the trailer bill. And they say the trailer bill is going to go forward, but they're saying now that the results of the trailer bill are going to be proactive. So they're telling us wait until the future, 2021, 2022, 2023. We're saying the trailer bill should be retroactive and be effective on the 75 licenses that are in the rig lottery now. Fix it now, not tell us that they always tell black folks, oh, don't worry, we'll get you. We'll get you in the future. We're also calling on the President of the United States elect and Vice President elect Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, because this is going national, I talked to Congressman Danny Davis the other day, and they met with Biden yesterday to put in the national legislation things that will protect us from these local governors and local administrations that might want to shut us out. We need that in the national legislation. Any other questions?
I got a question, Senator.
Yes.
Senator, what about 51% of that $1 billion of revenues that they've already earned? Everybody, we're talking economics here. We deserve.
I'm glad you brought that up. And I talked with Brother Tyrone Muhammad last night about the
R3 program.
Program.
Illinois.
They have money right now that's supposed to go into 30-something million. It's more than that, Daddy. I think it's more than that now.
Violence, reentry, prison, and social justice.
Social justice, violence, reentry, homeless, economic development. Where is that money? We want that money. It's statewide. So it ain't just Lori Lightfoot, it's statewide. We want our money statewide. Billy Bishop's here, East St. Louis. Our people are dying in Decatur. Our people are starving to death in Springfield. We want Cairo, Illinois. We want that money that was in the legislation to be released as soon as possible. And we are asking, demanding a meeting with those who have that money, from JB to Preckwinkle to our Mayor Lori Lightfoot. We want a meeting with you all to discuss how we can get that money into our community.
Senator, one other question. Senator, what about a percentage of the social equity set aside for dispensary permits in the city of Chicago? We are entitled to have a certain amount of dispensary permits in this city.
Debbie is absolutely right, and we're going to address all of those issues. We could be here all day, but in respect to time, in respect to COVID and Corona and all of that, I'm just getting just scratchy in my throat. I ain't going to stay out here, but I am willing to put my life on the line for this struggle. And JB, you need to understand, the Black Caucus, we love y'all, but if y'all going to be up there acting like y'all don't know what color you are, we coming at you too. We need you. We're asking Mike Madigan, we're asking Don Harmon, President of the Senate, the Speaker of the House, the Black Caucus, the Governor, please get this right. Get it right now before you go back January 7th or January 8th. Fix the trailer bill. Keep your promise that you gave us. Don't renege. Don't let these rich people destroy your legacy, because we know where the Hyatt hotels are. We can march on them too. Thank you. God bless you. Where our band is at? We're going to make some noise. We're going to keep making noise. We're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep the struggle. Power to the people. And not the love. Not the shout. Not the love. Not the love. Not the love.